Hello everybody. I've actually come back from a little bit of lost time here. You see, I had been recording way ahead of where I was editing, or basically I've been playing more than I've been editing, which meant that I had a couple of weeks of footage saved up. Unfortunately, experiments with Microsoft's game recorder seem to have gone bust, and I've lost a couple of weeks of footage. So what that means is you get to jump forward in time and see that I have actually managed to get a fair amount done on Shady Hole Station. Also, if I sound different, if there's differences in sound quality, that is also because I have changed my procedure in the way I work. Instead of recording and doing voiceovers later with the script, I've been actually recording and talking, which is not as easy as it sounds. But in the meanwhile, I can show you what I've gotten done on Shady Hole Station so far. I have, of course, put on a couple of connectors, and I have upgraded Infinity so that it has merge blocks to fit with the merge block connector system that was so useful on Lottery Station. I decided I liked it and was incorporating it into the design of my station. Also, I found some modded doors I like. This one I should have no trouble fitting through. The noise is a little repetitive, but I can live with that. So this is the shaft that I managed to dig into the middle of the asteroid. I have set up some storage here with azimuth storage containers, which hold quite a lot more than the standard large storage containers from the vanilla game. My regular welder is the one that I'm using to build things inside this asteroid. And I have found some modded corridor walls that I'm liking rather a lot. This is going to be the reactor room once I get these reactors built. And yes, these reactors are modded as well. But they're not modded so much for convenience or super power. In fact, they're a little bit bulky for their output. They're really modded primarily to look cool. Just the same with 4 medium reactors, I'm pretty sure that's going to put out more power than I'm going to need for a long time. But if I do need more power, I can upgrade it or put on more reactors. So for the time being, my plan is to finish the reactor room, and then I can start on refining and putting in production around here. I have been adding extra connectors all over the conveyor system for the station in order to make it more convenient for the welder to get around. And the spaces in which I'm putting them are places where I plan to be out of sight once I get in proper walls and ceilings. Oh, there is this other thing I wanted to share with you. This is my new welding ship for outside. As you can see, I moved my old welding ship inside for the smaller size. This one's a bit bigger. In fact, I had to expand the bay doors on infinity for that. I also moved the engines. More on that later. But it has more powerful engines, bigger storage, twin welder of course, spotlight. But what I'd really like to show off for you is this right here. We have automated screens on both sides telling me exactly how much I have of everything, and the gauge in the middle telling me how full I am. I plan to implement those on all of my mining ships later. Okay, so this is my reactor room, completed and running. It needs lights, like everything else in this station. And that's something I'm going to have to work on. It also needs gravity, air, and lots of other things. In the meanwhile, I've heard that all these meteor storms I've been having were being drawn by some planetary masses that this asteroid field was heading into orbit around. And now that the entire field is in their Lagrange point, we should see a marked decrease in meteor storms. That should make things a lot easier. Planetary masses? What planetary masses? I haven't seen any. Where did those come from? I should go check those out sometime. Right now, though, I have more immediate problems. Specifically, these Gatling platforms, these drones from the pirate ships. They keep shooting my stuff up, and they're driving me nuts. And it's time I did something about them. So, my first order of business is to install a shield generator in this base. Okay, so there's a shield generator built, and I have also downloaded LCDs for the shield meter. The download for that can be found with the Shield Mods page, and the instructions on how to use it are here in the code. Alright, and for my next trick, I'm putting a similar shielding device onto my welding ship, because I'm tired of it getting shot up while I'm trying to repair stuff with it. So we'll just bring that inside. I could work on it just as easily outside, I suppose, but I want to make sure it'll still fit through the door. Oh, yeah. I should make sure it's attached. And why isn't it attached? It's turned on. Okay, figured it out. See, this isn't the first connector that was on there. The first one got shot off, and so I had to replace it. But I forgot to set ownership when I rebuilt it. Ownership was set to nobody, and they have to be matching. So once I set ownership to me, there it was. So now I should connect. Turn off my dampeners. And then reverse the piston. I need to fix the floor up there. There needs to be a ramp. Okay, so now we're ready to put some shields on this thing. And really? Still connected, but it's drifting off the connector. I'll be glad when Keen gets that fixed. And since I have room for a large shield generator, that's what I'm putting on. Although I probably should have checked on which side the upgrade goes. These are upgradable. That's interesting. And we are ready to start generating some shields. And we want to rename this to Parts Shield, and stick a colon on the end of it. And then we're going to look at the programming blocks. There are actually 2 programmable blocks already on this boat. There is some shooting going on. couple of these weapons platforms. So why aren't they being shot at? Because that is down for the count. That is just barely down for the count. This one is not, and it should be shooting. Let's see, it's turned off. And it's set to target small ships. Out of ammunition. And this should be using the standard this stuff. Let's make a bunch of it. Which turret is this? This is turret 6. And hey, it's finally shooting. Nice shooting techs. But it seems as if it's still quicker to just walk up and take a grinder to it. What's shooting? Oh, that's shooting at this. Okay. Nice job. Pretty soon I'm going to have to run cleanup on this game. But for right now, I need to stop getting lost. Okay, and my programmable blocks. Are missing. That's why I couldn't find them in the control panel. And those numbers probably aren't updating either, obviously. So we're going to put some control blocks, we're going to put some programmable blocks, and a timer back on here and get this thing back in tip-top shape. Alright, I've got the shields display set up in the center LCD and the inventory set up on the sides. Now I'm actually showing up more inventory than I have. Because I'm still hooked up to my connector. Which I suppose is kind of cheaty. So we'll just put down the pistons and disconnect. Then I can get on with repairing this ship. Safe and secure in the knowledge that at least a few bullets are going to be deflected by my shields. Okay, so I have shields on my most important ships, and I have finally gotten some new turrets put around the base that ought to keep things fairly well defended while I get things built. And that one's too high, and I'll fix that later. Next episode, we'll work on taking the fight back to all these space pirates and converting Mr. Creosote back into a fighting ship. But while you're waiting to see that, be sure to check out my other shows. Scroll down, click my like button, and don't forget to have some fun, build something cool, and have a nice day.